Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego Icons pickup truck. I don't know if it says Icons anywhere on here. But anyway, this is kind of like either the new Creator Expert or they're combining the two. It's the Lego pickup truck, I believe Icons. The box looks like an Icons box. So this is set number 10290. It has 1,677 pieces, and I paid $80 for this set. Now this is new in box. The box was very damaged, which was a bit of a bummer, but not too bad because I was going to build it. And I got this from a major online retailer that had it on a pretty steep discount, and then I had a voucher or I had a credit for another amount of money that then brought this down. So my effective pay after shipping and everything like that was $80. This retails for $130. So I got a pretty fantastic deal. I was pretty interested with this set at even $130. It's not like licensed like some of the other Icons vehicles I've built, which are like the Camaro and the DeLorean and the Porsche. But this is its own charm. I know that some people have issues with some of the dark red or brownish red that's in here and a few other things, but I was really interested in this set. I thought it looked great, so I really wanted to pick it up, and when I saw I could get such an extraordinary deal on it, I decided to get it. So in this video I'm going to open this up and I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy. Okay, so while we look at the build process for this Lego Icons pickup truck set, I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you for watching, and to say that if you like this video, please consider clicking the thumbs up and giving it a like. And if you like my other videos on my channel, please consider subscribing. For a small channel like mine, all the engagement like likes and comments and subscribes, all that stuff really helps my channel grow and reach new audiences. So it's really appreciated. It shows me a lot of support and helps me a lot. So I just really appreciate it, and thank you everybody who's watching. And because the build for this set is pretty long, I actually sped it up faster than I normally speed up my build portions of the video. And I also figured I would kind of record some commentary to go along with the build portion, and hopefully it's not too redundant with the same things that I point out in the review portion. So we just watched building all these side builds, which is the first bag, and then going into the second bag of pieces, we get on starting with the kind of body of the truck and body of the vehicle. I haven't built one of these Icons like brick build vehicles in a while. I've been building more Technic stuff recently, so it was really nice to get back to a brick built vehicle, and this follows a lot of the conventions of other brick built Icons kind of vehicles that I've built, but also has its own kind of quirks and own kind of charm here. So I really loved putting this together, and as you can see, we're kind of just building out the base here, and eventually we will move on to kind of building out more of the front. We've already added in some details like some little pedals in there, which is nice. So you kind of add in those like kind of steps or whatever when to like the on the underside of the door there, which you could step on to get into the vehicle. We've built that. Now we're kind of building the front axle and the steering mechanism with a bunch of different gears there, which is really nice. It does have functional steering, which is great. And I thought this was already getting pretty long, but it actually gets quite a bit longer because there's a whole like engine block that'll go in front of all that steering mechanism there too, kind of on top of and kind of in front of. So it is a good size. I think scale wise is about in line with the Icon's Camaro, and about in line with the DeLorean, and about in line with the Porsche and the Mustang. That's a creator expert. So that's all nice. But building out the front end here is very cool, and we eventually do kind of build some really neat stuff for the fenders and all around there. So we can see some of that built now. I really loved how they did these brick built fenders for the front and the back, and actually the front and the back look very, very similar in shape and size, but the builds and the techniques used for building them are quite different, and even the piece usage are different. So that's really, really refreshing and really fun. So I loved putting on these front fenders there, and it was really inspiring to do. We can also see that we'll be building up some of the back wall there that separates the cab from the bed of the truck, which is kind of what's going on here, which is nice. It does have that kind of window piece there. So that is that. Onto the next bit of pieces, we will build kind of the engine and some stuff in the front, like the grill and the I don't know what else to call it, the bumper maybe, but the engine is nicely detailed and really, really cool in there. So I show more of that in the review. And we use all of these gray barb elements here, as well as some gray, like, Technic bushing pieces there to make a really cool grill. It's a super nice effect, really smart piece usages to use those like medium barbs in the light bluish gray. They're kind of like a raptor claw or something like that, but they're used really nicely. The doors for this thing are incredible. Unfortunately, we're speeding up a little too fast to really see the mechanism that makes the doors work, but I was really blown away by it, and I talk about it at length during the review section. Now we're going to go on to building the kind of bed of the truck here, which is its own kind of separate thing. The bed isn't like easily removable or anything, at least not that I could tell, but maybe some people found a way to like kind of take it off easy, which is an interesting feature if you were able to do that. I didn't really try too hard, but building the bed is really, really nice. And then when we round out the end, we'll kind of finish up the roof of the cab, finish up the hood, and then we'll add the wheels and any final kind of details there, and then this will all be done. So I thought the build process for this was really well paced. There's not that many stickers in this set, which is really nice. The building techniques are really innovative, I thought, so that was a real joy. And it was just all good. Now, actually, we build the seat here, which is kind of for the inside the cab. We build, actually, maybe it's the seats, but these are really tiled out, nice choices of colors, nice piece usages there. It fits in really, really nicely. The cab is a little bit cramped, and I do talk about that a little bit at the end of the video in kind of the more review section here. But I love that the seats feel very finished there. And now we are putting together the hood. Again, really, really nice building techniques. Feels very finished, all tiled out. We do the hood. We will add some... these are kind of like fender pieces for the back, which there is something about these that I make note of in the review. We'll also build kind of some railings for the bed of the truck and the roof. We can also see the final kind of pieces for the wheels here, including some like those metallic silver rims there, and the white walled rims, and then the metallic silver hubcaps there. So that's all very nice. And we finish up the roof. There's a nice sticker for a feature inside there, and add the tailgate. add the roof, add the wheels, and then that's going to be it for this series. So now enjoy my review of this set. Okay, so that is this Lego Icons pickup truck. This set is wonderful. I really, really liked it. It's not perfect, and it's great though. It's very, very great. I think I like a lot of these Icons and Creator Expert size vehicles. Unlike some of the other ones I've done, this one is not like licensed, so it's kind of an amalgamation of different old pickups, or I don't know if it's Model Ts exactly, but it's sort of a combination of different models from different years and potentially different manufacturers. But there's something kind of charming about that, and also something where I think maybe lacking because of it. So I'll get into that as we discuss the truck. But as you can see here, one of the things that this set comes with is this plethora of kind of side builds. So I will go over those a little bit first. And I'm not exactly sure where to start because I don't have the directions right in front of me, but you get a basket of, I think these are maybe apples, but not really. They're not the apple piece. So maybe tomatoes or something like that. The instructions actually say what all these are supposed to be. So let me pull that up. But we do get a little basket here, and they have different ones with the like bigger leaves, and then some of them with the smaller kind of flower stud there. So yeah, it's supposed to be 1950s style truck. Let's see here, the 4 seasons. So we got winter, so this is supposed to be tomatoes. Okay. That's for summer, and there's also carrots. So we have a little basket of carrots, a little basket of tomatoes. These are really nice to get different colored carrots there. Nice to kind of get different tomatoes as well. The baskets are different colors, which you can also see there. So those are nice. And for summer, there's also a pail for milk, which is a really, really nice build. That is a sticker there for milk, but I like how they use these bucket handles here, and this just looks like an old school milk pail, so that's really, really nice. Good little build. So that's all supposed to be for summer. For spring, they have this watering can. I thought I was really going to like this, and then I ended up not liking the handle super much. I think the shaping is pretty good, and the build techniques and piece usage are pretty good. There's even like a little translucent tile in there, and that's a nice touch. I didn't love this piece for the handle here, and maybe if it was in a different color, I would like it more, but it just wasn't my favorite. But this is for spring, along with a wheelbarrow and some potted flowers here. So we get 3 different kind of flowers in pots there, which is nice. And we get this really interesting wheelbarrow build that can roll, like the wheel does turn there. Has rubber on it, which is kind of nice. And the build is really interesting for this because you have these hinges there and have these kind of off at a certain angle, and then have these studded down to this kind of tiled out top. And for wheelbarrows, as far as I'm familiar with, this, usually have more of a side to them, at least the ones that I'm familiar with. This one feels more like a cart, I guess, but it does have a spot for like a person to hold these and little feet to keep it elevated. And as far as like a display piece goes, not something to actually like be played with or something that's actually supposed to like be like a normal wheelbarrow. I think this is a pretty good representation, and I like that there are the flowers on there. Those are just studded on with jumpers, so they could be moved around in different spots. And there's actually a spot in the truck where maybe you would want one of these pots of flowers to be in the truck with you, but as you can see, I'm having difficulty getting them on there correctly. There's different ways you can get those on, but that's really nice. And it's nice that there's different sizes, like these flower pieces versus these smaller flower studs. And the whole build for this was just really interesting as far as the wheelbarrow goes. I thought it was a really unique build experience, so I like to see that. And as far as techniques goes, there was definitely stuff in here that I really, really liked. So that's for spring. Summer. For fall, we have these crate with pumpkins. So this crate is a really nice build with tan. Get a bunch of little pumpkin pieces here, which is wonderful, or like gourd pieces in there. So that's really great. This is a nice brick built crate instead of using one that's already made. So it's a little bit bigger, feels very finished, very like tiled out everywhere, which is really nice. And it holds these pumpkins in there very well, which is great. And then we also get this sign, which is fresh from the farm. This is a big sticker here. And there's also on the other side, it says today's pick, which has kind of the flowers. So this sign could kind of be used for fall, but also for summer because it's got the tomatoes and the carrots on there as well as the pumpkin. And the other side could be for spring because it's got kind of the flowers here. So this sign can be for different things, or so for autumn or for fall. It's mostly just the pumpkins, but also the sign here as well could be used for various things. And then they have something for the winter, which is this wonderful wreath, and I believe this package here, this gift package, which is a nice like brick built thing that looks like it has a little ribbon there. And this wreath I really like, and I especially like I like that these red axles here are sticking out, and they're like, oh, a Technic piece sticking out, but it's actually like a really nice detail that almost looks like berries or like holly or something added to this wreath that I don't mind at all. I actually really like it, and I thought that was a super unique thing. At first I was like, wait, why are we really going to have those axles sticking out? And I think it's really, really smart use of pieces. And so this is a nice wreath. It's a good size, and it's really well done. So I was very, very happy with this, and I liked that it helps for the structure of this, but it also adds like that little touch of red in kind of this different green there, which I think is really important to convey the season. So that's really, really nice. So we get all of this kind of side build stuff here that can use to display different seasons and different stuff, different kind of settings or scenery things that can all be set up alongside the main vehicle. So as far as like other sets goes, for a lot of the Icons vehicles, except for maybe like the DeLorean has some side buildy type stuff, but like the Porsche that I have, the 911 Turbo, I believe, or the Camaro that I have, and the Mustang, those don't have like this kind of stuff as far as brick built like vehicles go. I don't see them coming with all these different extras and accessories and stuff. And I think these are like largely stuff that could be used in a lot of other sets and other mocks. I mean, I don't think like a lot of this stuff isn't minifigure size, but this could be a minifigure size gift. These could be minifigure size tomatoes. These could be minifigure size. They certainly use these pumpkins in minifigure sets and these carrots in minifigure sets. So those could all be used. I think like the wheelbarrow, the milk, the watering can, those are all a little big. The sign's big. The wreath is big. But even the wreath could be like a thing in a city, like a really, really big wreath display. So like these could all be used kind of elsewhere. I think like these potted plants are kind of minifigure scale, but then they're on this wheelbarrow that's very, very large. So it's kind of an interesting way that the scale works for all these things. But I think it is important to note all of these pretty wonderful side builds or like extra accessory things that this set comes with. So I think that's really great. This set is over 1,600 pieces, and not an insignificant amount of pieces are used up in all these side build things. I think, each carrot is 2 pieces there. Each tomatos 2 pieces, each pumpkin's 2 pieces, all these pieces for the different flowers, which is at least, 12, 13, 14, or more each. This is a lot of pieces. So there's, a significant amount of pieces used up in these side builds, but that doesn't mean the actual vehicle here is lacking in any way. So these are just all additions, I think, in my opinion, and really kind of set this set apart, because this is a lot of really cool stuff and makes for the display to be like all that much more impressive and cool and timely and seasonal. So as far as all these go, we just have the milk sticker and then the 2 big stickers on the sign, and then the rest of the stickers are used on the truck. So now I'll bring the truck back, and I'm actually going to move all these side pieces away for now, and I'll grab them again kind of at the end here, just so we can look at the truck without any distractions or anything getting in the way. So we have this red, and I just lost a piece. We have this red pickup truck that's supposed to be like retro 50s kind of pickup here. Let me make sure I stud this piece back on. And like many of the other Icons cars, there are like things here that this does really well that make it very kind of realistic, and has some functions that maybe not like play functions necessarily, but kind of. So obviously the back wheels spin. They spin independently of each other there, which is nice. Front wheels spin. They are also independent of each other, which is kind of interesting. And it does have working steering. So by turning the steering wheel here, we can get those front wheels to spin. And actually there's kind of like, I don't know if the right word is a gear differential or something. The steering wheel spins like a full time around to get it all the way to the left to all the way to the right, which is interesting. It feels like kind of loose, or kind of like, I don't know, it felt like it fit appropriately for me. So we do have nice steering here that works with the steering wheel, which is excellent. We got the nice truck bed here. We can open up the tailgate, or whatever this piece is called there. We also have functioning doors here. So these open up. That is on both sides. The doors open up. The mechanism for these doors is really, really cool. And I unfortunately, I don't know if I can show it totally, but I'll try to do my best, because the mechanism for these doors is really, really unique. I haven't seen anything like it in other Icons vehicles that I've built, and I thought it was a real joy. And there's like no gap when this is closed. I mean, except for pieces where maybe they're a little askew or I didn't close it up right, but that feels very finished. No gap there, no gaps up here really, and it opens up and it just fits in there perfectly. It's really, really great. So it actually like slides back a little bit and then opens. So then when it kind of like hits the side here, but then it slides forward, just fits in place perfectly. Same on the other side. Really, really good engineering for those doors there, which is nice. We can lift up the hood here, which is wonderful. And there's actually a piece to fold down so the hood can stay up, so we can get kind of a peek under the hood. I'm going to do my best to sort of show this. We do have an engine in here, which has its own kind of function things. It's not like a Technic vehicle where it's connected to the engine like that, but there's a rubber band in here that if you spin one part, another part spins. So this engine is all built out and well detailed. So that's really, really nice. So it even feels finished like under the hood here. We have this awesome grill, which uses these barb pieces there, then a printed slope piece for this V8. And the whole engine build is really, really inspired and really, really good. So it's very nice to see that. And I think there probably is a somewhat easy way to remove the engine so you get a better look at all of that. But there's really interesting parts in there. There's a nice black hot dog piece used there, and a bunch of other stuff to get like the 8 cylinders and stuff. There's a little propeller behind. If I can pop this piece out, let me see here. what I can do. How easy does this come out? Okay, so if we pop out this piece, we can see that there's this, there's like that little propeller there. And if you spin that, it actually spins this little flower piece here because the rubber band is connected to it. So you can get a really good look at the engine. You can see the cylinders down there using those clip pieces. Tons of good stuff in there. And that is all kind of just internal details that kind of gets covered up a little bit because of the grill stuff that you put in. So you put in this piece, which is really, really nice, that you build this little sub-assembly. So that slides in there. And then this is a whole sub-assembly as well with those little barbs, which is a really smart use of pieces. It's like a raptor claw type piece, but they use it in conjunction on one of those kind of flexible tubes to make like a really cool open grill like that. This is a sticker for the license plate. Got some nice lights up here, which are really nice. I like to see that. The hood is very, very finished. We can see from this side, we get the nice metallic mirrors there. We can see the inside of, you know, where the steering wheel is and where like the seats there. So that's really good. We can see the steering wheel here, which is lovely. And I knocked off the license plate for the back. That is also a sticker. You may have already noticed that on the sides here, we have some stickers that just say Green Farm, established 1932. And there's one on either side, or both sides rather, which is very good. Another sticker for a license at the back. This Lego piece here is a print, which is terrific. And then we get a couple other things, which I will show. We can kind of take off the roof. I don't know if it's supposed to be like easy to take off or not. I find when I do take it off, sometimes certain pieces stick to it there, but we have this whole roof piece. We can see there's a rear view mirror in there that goes like this, so it is facing the right way. It has a little barn and a road there. That is a sticker as well. Inside the cab, we can see a little bit of the mechanism for these doors here. So using some Technic bits, also using one of those like rubber kind of grommet pieces down in here. So it can kind of stretch open a little bit and close. So a really, really nice mechanism in there. Wonderful to see how that works. Same for the other side. We use those minifigure like ice skate pieces for the door handles on the inside, which is nice. We even have, there's pedals down inside here. If we can kind of see from the top, there's this bar here, but behind that there's two pedals, so you get covered up a little bit by this gear shift there. And then we get this nice finished seat. We do have the bit for the dash here. Let me see that. So we have this dash. This is a print, which is also nice, and I might have had that on upside down anyway, so it's good that I took that off so we can get that right side up there. And just the whole inside of this cab, like the proportions are a little bit, you know, smushed or not right. The steering wheel is very, very close to the seat, which is very close to the gear shift, which is very close to everything else. So it is kind of smushed this way, but you know, for the proportions of the vehicle, like it works really, really well and looks really, really great. I think a lot of these Icon cars have a little bit of trouble with the proportions when they get into the interior here, and I noticed that with some of the other ones, but I love the interior of this. It's got really nice details, and as you can see, we do have that one little jumper there, which I think is supposed to be so like you could put maybe the gift in there, or maybe a newspaper tile, or even like a flower thing could be in the passenger seat with whoever might be driving this, which I think is a nice touch. Obviously, this is too big for minifigure scale. As far as other stickers go, we do have some clear stickers on the side of the windshield there. Those are clear backed. And let me see if I can find any other ones. I don't know. I don't think I have the sticker sheet anymore, unfortunately. So I can't verify for sure, but I think I'm kind of have covered most of them so far. There's just not that many stickers in this set. I mean, there's the couple for the milk and the sign, the sides of this, the rear view mirror, the license plates, and I think that's kind of most of them there. So that's really, really great. The fenders for this are all brick built with some really interesting techniques here, with some upside down pieces and a lot of like studs on the side stuff, but like these pieces are upside down right here, and just the whole construction of the front fender is really, really great, really inspired. So nice to see that. The same is true for the back here, actually, and they mimic each other pretty well as far as size and shape go, but the back is actually a completely different build, and there is something to notice about the back though. So if we're looking at these back here, you can see on these pieces here, the mold mark is external. And that's a bummer. I know that some people, I think, found with this dark red that sometimes there's inconsistency in the colors. For me, for my eyes, being colorblind and everything, it's a little too hard for me to notice that. So if there are inconsistencies in the color from piece to piece, maybe you can tell better than I can. But these mold marks here, which you can even see from kind of far away, but closer up you can see, are a bummer that those are external. And the same is true on the other side. And you'd think if those were like a 1x1, why wouldn't I just turn it away where you wouldn't see that side being on the outside? Well, those aren't just a 1x1. And this goes to show like the really interesting build techniques to get all this. So these, this bracket here piece, or studs on the side here piece, studs in here, there's some clips down in there, and this bar is clipped on, and that's what goes on. So those pieces that have the mold marks there on the outside, and maybe have a little difference in color and finish as well there, are these clip pieces. So they can't go any other way. They have to go with those mold marks facing out, so the bar can be on the inside, so they can be held in here. So that is a bummer that these clip pieces now have those marks on them, and they have them on a side that is opposite the clip. I think there's probably no good side that would have that mark, because in various sets you might have one of the other sides visible. For this set, it is a real bummer, and I believe that's true for like the recent Eiffel Tower set, that it has a bunch of these mold marks on the sides of those clips. And that was a big bummer for me, because almost nowhere else on this vehicle do I see anything even close to that. It all feels very finished, and so those really stand out to me. Maybe somebody else wouldn't notice them. I think they stand out quite a lot. And when you're looking over this thing, everything feels very, very finished, very clean, very few gaps, really interesting build techniques to get all that done. And then we have those mold marks there, which is a bummer. So it's part of their manufacturing process. I don't know if in maybe Europe or different markets, maybe they don't have that problem. Maybe that's a problem with the manufacturer that I get my sets from, probably, which is I think the factory is probably in Mexico, but I know they're opening up one in America, in Tennessee, I think, or Virginia or something. But anyway, that is a little bit of a bummer. I think the way that these go in is really, really inventive and really unique. That is one of the spots where you can get a slight little gap, and it can feel like there's a little bit there, because it is just using that bar clipped in to hold those pieces in, and then just a couple studs. But it's a really, really nice effect, and the end result is really, really great. So I don't have too many issues with that. In fact, I really liked putting this all together. There's just really interesting build designs, from all the mechanisms in here, the gear stuff for the engine build for all the details, the mechanisms for the doors is great. Even like building the seat is really, really cool. So I love to see that. Building the back is very cool. So really, really great. And I think these fenders are kind of highlights for me as far as like buildable details that are really inspiring. One of the other kind of features of this set is that these railings are not studded down. They just slide in, which is really nice. So you could store this without those in there, and it has a completely different look then. It's not as high walled here, and it's just completely different. I personally like them with it in because I'm not so sure about this piece usage that flares out kind of over the edge. I think it looks a little weird from the side, and I think it looks a little weird from the top. But using those pieces is what allows for these pieces to slide in there so easily and feel like really, really sturdy. And even when I'm if I turn this all the way upside down, even they don't even fall out all the way. So like there's enough friction in there. I suppose if I turned it upside down and shook them really hard, they'd maybe come out, but they stay in there pretty well, which is really nice, and also easy enough to take out, like put on and take off, which is a super nice feature. A lot easier to take off and put on than say this roof is here. So that's really, really nice. And the other thing then is that I thought it would be cool if, all of the accessories could fit in the the bed of this truck, and they kind of can, especially when you use these railings on there. I had to do a little bit of stuff, and they can't, I think it's likely that the tomatoes or the carrots might spill or the pumpkins might spill, and some stuff is not in there like super solidly. It doesn't feel like the Jazz like moving truck where all of the contents of the truck, like there's even instructions about how you can kind of solve the puzzle that is putting those all in there, and there's a specific order and a specific way that they're supposed to go in. This didn't have that. So while it is doable to whoops, lost the whole front bumper here. While it is doable to put them all in, it is not like specifically designed to do that. So if I do this without like studying these things down, I would go like that, maybe put this one on top of there, do the milk here and the watering can there. Present could go in maybe the front seat, and then we're left with this wheelbarrow, which can kind of go like that. And that feels, pretty stable. And it looks okay. You have a lot of stuff on top of other stuff. And the wheelbarrow takes up so much space that you kind of need to put it on top, unless you maybe remove the flowers and could turn it on its side or something. But I didn't really experiment with that. But this isn't terrible. Like, this isn't bad. It all fits in there well enough. It's not in there. It's not studded down. It's not super tight. It's not locked in. But if you were going to display it, maybe you would have everything in the back, or maybe you swap things out given the season. If this is displayed, maybe it's spring, so I have these out and the rest back there, and then for a different season maybe I'll swap some of these out and put this in the back, or you just have these stored somewhere else. But I did want to see if I could fit everything in the back, and this is what it looks like with everything back there, which it is not too bad, so that's okay. Ultimately, I think this is a wonderful set. It's got a lot of great details. The attention to detail is just really, really lovely. I think maybe I don't know if it would have benefited from being a licensed truck, like a specific model of a truck from a specific brand, from a specific year and stuff like that. It's possible that could be better. But just like I said, all the attention to detail, the mechanisms for the doors, the finished engine, the steering mechanism, all these different features really put this, very easily in the Icon series and easily fits alongside other licensed sets. I think one of the benefits of this not being licensed is that this has a ton of pieces, more pieces than some of the other licensed Icon vehicles I've built, and this is significantly cheaper. Now, from the beginning, I said that I got this kind of during a spring sale that online retailers, do, and there's all different competing things. And the Lego group themselves had their own double VIP and all this different stuff. But I got this from an online retailer, and it was on sale, and then I had a voucher. So I ended up paying $80 for this set. $80 for 1,677 pieces, which is a crazy good a crazy good deal. That's like an extraordinary deal, down to it being like, 5 cents a piece instead of 10 cents a piece or whatever, so, even at $130 though, $130 for 1,677 pieces in 2023 Lego, that's like a lot of Lego for the price, I would say. So even at retail, this is a really, really good deal. I got it it was on sale for, I think, like 90 or 95, which is a fantastic deal. And then I had a voucher for another like $15 off. So I ended up paying $80 for this. And that's just a no-brainer deal. This was on my list for a while. I had my eye on it. When I saw I could get it for such an incredible discount, I had to pick it up. It was almost something where I wanted to pick a multiple for that discount to maybe sell or to have one in box or something like that, but I did not do that. I just got the one and built it. Had a blast building it. Really, really cool build. Different from other Icons cars that I've built or vehicles that I've built. Fits in with the scale and size. Just as good attention to detail, interesting building techniques, functions, great stuff, and all these wonderful accessories. So I love this set. I think it's really, really good. I think on some level, maybe it could have benefited from being licensed to like nail down a couple specific things. And I don't know if it was licensed, maybe they would have found a different way to do these fenders so the mold marks wouldn't be there. I don't know why that would be the case. For some reason in my head, I just felt like a car manufacturer might not want that or something, but who knows? I don't really know what I'm talking about with that idea, but I just thought maybe Porsche wouldn't want that to be visible on one of their vehicles, but I'd have to look over the Porsche that I have and Icon's brick built one and see if I can find any imperfections like that. But this is a terrific set. Great value, tons of fun to build, great for display. I don't really consider this a play set, but it certainly has a lot of functions, so it could be played with, and it's just terrific. Really, really great. Tons of fun. We can see there are a lot of extra pieces here. Let me grab those. And there's some good ones in here. One of the ones, I got an extra of this flexible tube here, which is what's used for the front with those barb elements for the grill there. A lot of these extra pieces are from the accessories, but there's still a lot of extra pieces from the main vehicle build too. So we get a lot of stuff in that kind of dark red color or brownish red. I'm actually not sure what color that is. But we also get an extra of like the flower studs and the carrot stem there. We get an extra of like the ice skate piece, which was used for the inside door handles, which I really liked. Extra of the black hot dog piece, which is used in the engine. Technic pins, bar elements, your 1x1s, your tiles, your studs, your just different stuff, bar elements, Technic pins, tons of different, small pieces. So you get all those extra pieces there, a good amount of stuff, and you get an extra of this hollow tube piece, flexible tube piece. So at the end here, I'm left with a fantastic set that's not perfect. I wish those mold marks weren't there, and there's a few. I think the roof could, if it's supposed to stud down all the way, then maybe it could have, some of these connections are a little bit light, so it doesn't easily stud on and come back off. If you are supposed to stud it down all the way, then it's a little hard. I don't love putting clear stickers on the side here. Would love for that windshield to be printed. Rest of the stickers don't mind too much. There are a couple printed tiles that are really nice, or printed pieces that are really nice. We get the nice kind of silver dish pieces for the hubcaps with the white wall wheel in there, which is really, really cool. Functional steering, which is great. The finished interior. So tons of really lovely stuff here. Just not perfect. Very close to perfect, I would say, in my opinion. If it didn't have these mold marks, I would almost say this is like close to flawless. I might still be able to find things that I don't love about it, but it's really, really good. It's really, really good, and it looks great. And it looks great from this angle. For as far as the windshield goes, I wish it wasn't in a bag with all the other pieces. I wish it was either in its own like paper bag or had that kind of plastic film that you could peel off when you get it, just to avoid scratches. But that's maybe a nitpicky thing. If we look at the bottom here, we can see there's even like little exhausts down here, lights at the back. We can see the steering mechanism and all the other stuff that make this vehicle so great and so fun. And so it's just a wonderful Icons vehicle. And if making it, you know, non-licensed makes it, you know, this much cheaper for this much Lego, I think that's hard to argue against. I think, you know, that's a pretty good argument for, I suppose, skipping the licensing from, you know, Ford or whatever other manufacturer this might be emulating. And so I'm perfectly happy with it, and I got it on a great sale, and that's terrific. But, you know, I think I would have paid retail for this, and I would have been very, very pleased with what I got, because this is a ton of Lego, which is lovely. I mean, almost 1,700 pieces, you know, 1,677 for $130 or $80 like I paid. That is hard to beat in 2023. So very big fan for me. And I think that's all I have to say about it. This maybe went on a little long, but this was a terrific thing that took me kind of a while to build, and there's just a lot of little details to take a look at. So I had a blast building it, a blast talking about it, so very, very happy. If you like this video, please consider clicking that thumbs up and giving it a like. And if you like the other videos on my channel, please consider clicking on that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more vehicles, more Lego icons, and then just tons of other Lego sets, all different size, shape, piece count, price point, tons of different themes, all different kinds of Lego stuff, and other kinds of Lego content besides builds and reviews coming up. So if you're interested in that, please consider subscribing. It helps me a lot. And if you want to support this channel, the best way to do that is over at the SoBricks Patreon, which is patreon.com/SoBricks. And over there you can join for as little as $2 a month or $5 a month or $10 a month. Get access to all my videos early, get access to some exclusive videos over there, and a bunch of other stuff in the works over there. So as the Patreon continues to grow, I'm going to keep delivering different stuff for my audience there. So every little bit helps, and it is very appreciated. So thank you very much. And with all of that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.